I'm an addict for sneakers.
What's good, it's your boy DELZ, and we got the big guy,
Ryback.
And we had to talk to him. It's WrestleCade weekend. This guy has such a great podcast.
Podcast is Conversation with the Big Guy,
yes.
Available on iTunes. Check it out if you get time. We talk about a whole lot of stuff on there, you know, from life to wrestling and everything in between. And Feed Me More Nutrition, launching in December, is going to be available at retail stores, hopefully everywhere. So,
awesome.
Getting worldwide distribution on that.
Now, on your podcast, I heard you talking about basketball sneakers.
Yes.
Tell me more about that, because that's why I wanted to get you on the Sneaker Addict show.
Yeah, no, when I was younger, I was big on the basketball shoes.
Like what kind?
It didn't matter. Nikes have always kind of been like my thing, and now I'm more of a running shoe type of guy. But
yeah, I see you're wearing Air Maxes.
Oh no, these are Air.
You changed them.
Those are Air Big Guy boots right
those
there.
Are Air Big Guys. Before he was wearing the brand new Air Maxes, as I adjust this, which are super sweet with that full length Air unit.
Oh, I love
super
those.
comfortable,
I buy the
right?
same one, just different
with
colors.
With the full Air unit. Yeah, I've seen him wearing it before. This guy's ready to kick some ass really soon. But you know, he made some time for the Sneaker Addict show. And yeah, man, he used to love his basketball sneakers.
Yeah,
huh?
so I used to wear them. I was notorious for wearing basketball shoes with jeans and a polo shirt. I was very Arnold-esque.
Okay.
From like Twins, when the movie Twins.
Yeah, of course. I know what you're talking about.
I kind of always had that look for when I'd wear the shorts with the basketball shoes, like, you know. I just always enjoyed them. Because that was I don't know what age it was, but I took a liking to basketball shoes. And I played basketball growing up when I was younger and everything. So it wasn't like all that crazy for me to constantly have them. But as I got older, I realized I got to start buying some different kinds of shoes.
So if someone asked you to get on the court right now, you think you could show off? You could do your thing?
Showing off, I wouldn't quite go that far. It's but I was always
the
very
Feed Me
athletic.
More dunk?
Yes.
What would the Feed Me More dunk used to be?
I used to.
What would it be, the Feed Me More dunk?
It would be a very basic dunk, but I would bring
power,
I would bring the backboard.
Two hands.
Yes.
Like Shaq. I could see it being like some Shaq kind of thing.
There would be some serious damage done. That would be my only saving grace to make the dunk not look so bad, is to break things with it. So,
that's awesome, bro.
No, but I always enjoyed playing.
He's got an amazing podcast. You know, I listen to his podcast and he talks about all types of stuff, like even just like regular jobs before making it, and restaurant jobs. And I totally could feel what you were saying with the restaurant stuff, from tipping to because I worked at a restaurant too. I worked at Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Yeah. And you worked at Smoky Bones. Who we got here? Who we got here?
What are y'all talking about?
We're talking about life before, you know, wrestling and whatnot. Side jobs. What was your job before wrestling?
I worked at a Jamba Juice and then a Muscle Mag International.
Yeah.
That's where I got my email saying I was hired. I was like, fuck this job. Go WWE. Fuck shit. It's on now. Yeah, man, that was an awesome day. That was an awesome day.
But the restaurants, I love Cheesecake Factory, but it was, I talk about Smoky Bones a little bit, and when you work as a server and in that atmosphere, you learn how, you know, you survive based on your tips. I always took pride in giving great service.
I still give good tips. To this day, I have.
And I always did before that, but it even reinforced even more. So like now, every time, if I go out to eat, if you go out to eat, tip your server if they're good, because you know that's.
But do you critique bad serving?
I try not to. I honestly.
But does it happen?
I've never.
If it's terrible.
So if the service is horrible, which I've been luckily enough not to attract, I've not had.
I haven't had that either much.
But like I would hope that my focus wouldn't be on that. That I'd have enough going on where I'm not so focused on their bad service. So not to say that it won't happen, but I eat out enough to where the odds are it could happen. So, but I've been lucky on that end. So.
Well, it was awesome talking to you.
Oh, no, thank you.
Make sure to follow him, Ryback22. I mean, this guy is you don't understand, this man, besides him being Diesel, he's a smart dude. He is putting together all kinds of
deceiving
stuff,
sometimes.
man.
Yeah.
Like, because I listen to the podcast, right? And I hear you're putting together all these kind of nutritional
New formulas.
Yeah, formulas. And,
some of the most expensive.
Yeah, you're like on
formulas.
some Walter White shit for healthy people.
For healthy people.
Let's make that clear, for healthy people. You're like the Walter White of diesel, healthiness,
Supplements
clean,
is something I've been
keeping it
passionate
clean.
about for a long time. I wrote a motivational book, Wake Up, It's Feeding Time.
Yeah, it's coming soon, the book.
Coming out in December. That's being edited right now. And you know, the podcast is out, wrestling every weekend, and Feed Me More Nutrition is coming out. So we got some big things.
Did you wrestle the Hardy Brothers last week?
I tagged with them last week.
How did that go?
It was great for WrestlePro back east in Rahway. And,
and that's Pat Buck's company.
Buck's promotion.
Shout out to Pat Buck,
WrestlePro.
right?
And WrestlePro.com. Check it out online.
Pat Buck is somewhere drinking wine right now.
Yeah.
His wife's bringing him bottles of wine right now.
He'll kill me. WrestleProOnline.com. Sorry, I got it wrong. But yeah, no, Buck is only on the podcast.
Buck don't stop, man.
Yes.
I love the podcast.
Thank
It's
you
a
very
lot of
much.
fun, and they
great
don't
reviews.
talk about just wrestling. So if you want to just hear two guys hanging out at a bar, basically, because that's what I vision. Two
Talk
guys
about
hanging out.
everything, and two guys that have been best friends, and there's nothing off limits. So.
Tell them all your stuff before we go, bro.
Ryback22 on Twitter, the big guy. Ryback22 on Instagram. Ryback247 on Snapchat. Feed Me More Nutrition. FeedMeMore.com for everything. The big guy Ryback.
You heard it. Support this guy. These guys are
Thank
awesome.
you guys.
He's actually a really like.
I try to help people, and don't get me wrong, the world revolves around making money and business, but I try to, all the information that I have processed and learned over the years, all the different books that I've read while being on the road and listened to, I've applied to my life, and I want to help people as much as I like helping myself.
You know, you're like the mad scientist.
I'm a little bit of everything,
Because I listen to the podcast, so I understand. Like, because I think it was the last episode. What was the last episode? On the 21st, right?
Yeah.
And Pat Bucks was trying to, like, you really need to break down what you're doing. Because I think people don't understand.
They don't.
You cooked this up.
Well, I don't cook this.
Well, you didn't make it.
I created the formulas.
When I mean, like in your brain, we'll make it clear.
Yeah.
You Walter Whited this whole idea.
I've been behind. Like I'm not paying somebody to just put my name on
exactly.
it. This is all me. This is my baby, my passion.
Like I do sneakers, and I have companies that are like, hey, can we put your face on a cleaner? And I didn't even have shit to do with it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to compromise my brand. And it's just like
You're a smart man.
You know, like people want to be happy with what they buy.
You know, being a natural athlete now, and I talked about it before in my early 20s, before getting into WWE, I experimented with steroids in my early 20s, as a lot of people do. And I learned valuable lessons from that. And everything I have achieved at a professional level, I have been natural at doing. I have relied on proper nutrition and supplementation. So you look at a lot of these other companies that use bodybuilders that are on PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, and whatnot. And it doesn't matter what they take, everything works at that level. Whereas I've had to learn proper nutrition, and not to say that they don't do that, because those guys work very hard, but I've had to learn what supplements truly work, and I know in creating Feed Me More Nutrition what I've used to get the results I had at a professional level over the years. I know what it takes to succeed, and I want to pass that on.
Now I have a question, since you mentioned steroids. Do you feel like sometimes you need to take a cycle to get to the next level? No? Okay. Because that's important for the kids to hear,
and that's part of the big message that I have now, is that I want people to understand that you can have huge success without them. It just takes a little extra work, and it takes a stronger mind. I thought that growing up, that I had to do that to be a professional wrestler. And it was when
I was in high school, my friends that were doing juice, they would always say, come on, DELZ, you got to do a cycle.
It's a very immature mindset.
Russian D-bowls and all this kind of crap. And I'm like, nah, man, that ain't
what
for
I try to tell people is, don't compare yourself to other people. Only be the best version of yourself. Because when you look at other people and see other people are doing things that maybe they shouldn't be doing, you let their insecurities then become yours. And then you start doing things you wouldn't normally do because you think you have to. It's an immature mindset, and I have evolved past that, and I did at a young age, and I've been able to learn from that, and I want to be able to help pass that on and hopefully make some kids make, better decisions than I did early on.
These kids need role models.
Absolutely.
They do. And usually the big guys are the ones that really, they pay attention.
They've been let down a lot over the years. And I think it's something that I'm in a position now with everything from the WWE and who I am, and I'm very fortunate and thankful for that.
Because you got that WWE training, like that media training, because they really go hard with the media stuff too.
And I did it all the time, and I was one of the guys that.
Because you've been around since Nexus with Skip.
I was with them since I was 22 years old, and I'm 35 now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your birthday just passed. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
I pay attention to you, bro. You like that, right?
So
I'm good.
But I got to go get ready and get warmed up here for this.
Give him a
match.
skip real quick.
A little yep, what it do. Skip Sheffield.
Ryback, DJ DELZ. Make sure to follow his social media. I'll put all that in the description box below. Have a great match against Broken Matt Hardy. This is gonna be epic.
Hopefully I won't be deleted after
Oh
tonight.
my! It doesn't matter, man. I'll delete you. You know what? If you
want to know why it doesn't matter? Because it's fake. Spoiler alert.
Fake Brian Swift, fake fighting. But listen, if he gets deleted tonight, I'm gonna go into the recycling bin. I'm gonna undelete him. All right?
Thank you, buddy.
It was a pleasure, bro.
Yes, sir.